Me tonight is Mr. Tamar Boone. Sir, how are you doing this evening?
I'm good. How are you, Michael?
I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. So, thank you for taking the time to join us. And you are an incredible person. You have been participating in many of the Minnesota STEM activities, online watch parties. You've shown up, so I thank you for your support. And with that, you also have an incredible career and degree. And I think this youth in the audience and the parents will get a lot out of our conversation here this evening. So tell me a little bit about your title, what you do, where you work, maybe set us up.
Sure. So I'm a product design engineer at Cummins, and basically what that is kind of I help support the manufacturing line from an engineering design standpoint. So if anything goes wrong with some of our products, I pretty much have to find a solution for it. And the particular products I do work on, they're generators for the RV and commercial mobile aspect. So most likely, if you have an RV or motorhome, there's a Cummins generator generator in there, and some of our commercial mobile trucks, like dog groomers or things like that, will have a Cummins generator in there.
Well, we're glad that they don't go out very often because I know my Cummins generator runs all the time, especially out there, in the parks when you need it. So I appreciate that you are behind the scenes, making sure that quality and everything goes into those products. So you are also part of a national organization. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
So I'm part of the National Society of Black Engineers, and there's a bunch of chapters all around the country. I first started when I was in college as a freshman. Pretty much was kind of pretty much an active member up until my senior year. Then I was the president of the chapter, and from there I just kind of continued to end up to professional realm. So now I'm the pre-collegiate initiative chair for our Minnesota Twin Cities chapter, or NESBE TCPC, and there I help create STEM initiatives for children K through 12.
K through 12, fantastic. And I know that the last time that we talked, you're trying to start I call it NESBE Junior, but NSBE Junior chapter. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing there and what kind of help you might need with that?
So for our NESBE Junior chapter, let me back up a little bit. So we had a SEEK program. SEEK stands for the Summer Engineering Experience for Kids, and that was sponsored by Cummins, which is what I work for. So we had that program this summer, and we had a lot of interest from those parents that were in that program saying, hey, we wanted to get a NESBE Junior chapter started. At least for the elementary school kids, it's kind of tough to do that just because their schedule kind of conflicts with my work schedule. But we're trying to start one at the high school level, which will be a lot more manageable since they can stay after school. A lot longer than the middle school kids and elementary school kids. So it's kind of in the works, but trying to get there.
Sure. Well, because of your hard work behind the scenes and working with that, so you contributed greatly by making sure that the NESBE SEEK program for elementary students happened at Earl Brown over in Brooklyn Center. One of our guest speakers had their children in that program, and she spoke highly of it, highly. So at that particular program, very young minds get a chance to explore the concepts of engineering, right? Are there any particular degrees or anything out of the NESBE SEEK program that they want to make sure that the kids understand?
So at least how the SEEK program is structured, they'll go through different aspects of engineering, maybe mechanical, civil, chemical, electrical, and things like that. And they'll have a competition or design project around the particular segment engineering. I think this year they made a glider, miniature robot car, and I forgot what the other one was, but it was kind of touching on different aspects of engineering for each week that they were working on.
Sure, but it was really cool. I popped in on one of the robotics programs, and the way that they explained it, you have a robot, but there's weight and there's incline, and so you have to have motors and torque, and you talked about the gliders. There's all these terms that the kids get familiar with without actually knowing that they're becoming familiar with it. So to the parents in the audience, this program is actually a really good program because it teaches all these basic fundamentals in a very, very engaging way. Now, you had college students that came in from out of town as well. You had engineering college students locally from the Twin Cities, St. Cloud, U of M, and across the Twin Cities. Can you share a little bit about how many local college students that it might take to run that program?
That depends on the size or scale that they're kind of trying to bring up. So if it all kind of all depends on the number of students, to be honest.
Sure.
I think this year we had, I remember at least for the week that I was there, during the presentation, they had about 3 to 4 college students, and then some other local volunteers there, whether they were with with the company or Cummins, if they were with Cummins, or if they were kind of just local parent teachers just trying to help out.
Yeah, so the company and then the school probably all chipped in and made sure that the kids had a good time. That's fantastic. So we talk about these different type of degrees. When you were in 6th, 7th, or 8th grade, can you maybe share a little bit about what you thought you were going to go into when you got to college, or did you want to go to college?
So from the college standpoint, I really didn't have a choice. My parents were like, "You're going to college," and at least for me, I kind of really wasn't thinking about college all that much. But because I was pretty good in football, so that's kind of where I wanted to go.
Okay.
So when I was in high school, I kind of figured out things may not go the way I wanted to. So that's kind of when I switched. Luckily, I had an older brother. He's an engineer as well, and he pretty much knew what he wanted to do from, I don't know, like 4th grade or something like that.
Oh, he's one of them. He's one of them that already know what they want to do when they grow up.
So he's a chemical biomolecular engineer right now. And for me, after I always had a backup plan. It was going to probably be like a mechanic. So I used to watch the Fast and Furious movies growing up.
Oh, yeah.
So I always wanted to, like build cars and things like that. Not necessarily drive the way they do, but like just build cars, make them look and perform that way. So I thought I wanted to be a mechanic. And then, I did my research and kind of looked at the salaries. I was like, oh, like the engineers make more money, so I went that route. So I was always good at math and science classes, so engineering just seemed the right way. When I figured, I was like, okay, maybe this football is not going to work out. Let me switch to engineering. So instead of going to like football stuff, I go to engineering camps and things like that.
It's a good move. That's a very good move. So before we go, is there anything that you want to say to maybe the young folks or the parents of young folks out there as it relates to supporting and encouraging their students to get into this, maybe, get their math homework done and all that? What did your parents tell you to do that they had to make you get on the stick for?
So at least for me, my dad had a very creative way of doing it. So he would pay me and my siblings money for good grades. And, when you're a kid, you don't really have a job or you can't really get a job. So grades was kind of the way that we earned money. So he gave us a certain amount for, A's and B's. And then if we got C's or below, we would owe him money. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
No disrespect to your father. He made you pay him back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Which is probably right.
Yeah. So he paid us for our grades. So, if the better I did, the more money I got. So that's kind of how I kept my grades up, even when I didn't want to. Like, hey, I need some money.
Yeah.
So that, and then as far as just advice, I would say engineering in general is probably one of the best routes to go, just because it's so versatile. There's a lot of people that go in engineering and don't do anything related to engineering. Like at least when I went to college, there was a lot of folks there that got engineering degrees that ended up working on Wall Street or doing business or doing whatever they felt like doing. It's very versatile. You get an engineering degree, you practically do whatever you want to do. And also, the sooner you figure out what you want to do, the easier it is going to be, just because if you know what you want to do, you know what you need to work on and things like that. It just makes your whole life so much easier. Instead of going to college, taking a bunch of classes and you don't know what to do, and then you end up wasting time and money. And college is expensive.
Student loans and all
Yeah.
that rack up. Absolutely. Well, Tamar, thank you very much, sir.
No
I
problem.
appreciate your time today. And to all the audience out there, engineering is definitely one of the directions that you should head. And we thank you for your time tonight.
No problem. Thank you for having me on.
All right. Be good.
Thanks.
All right. From engineering professionals, we also had the opportunity to hear from a graphics design expert. And so with these skills, with these jobs, with these particular people, you know that you can do these types of careers. It doesn't take much, it just takes a little bit of grit, fortitude, and perseverance, and you have to try. The biggest participant in this is you, and you will certainly reach new altitudes if you just give it a shot. On behalf of the Minnesota STEM Partnership, Altitude, and all the production workers here at SPNN, we thank you and have a wonderful day.